We are back and we're talking about physical therapy, we're talking about activities of daily living. One of the things that I notice is balance seems to be an issue as I've gotten older. Is that something that you both look for at Bloom? You would look for maybe people's deficits in balance, and is that something that you can actually treat?
Absolutely, we do look at that. We have wellness directors, which are licensed nurses. They do assessments prior to the community moving into our community for assisted living and memory care, and that is the big thing they look for, is what is their fall risk. And then what do we need to put in place within our own structure to complement them with therapy to put the margins in place to keep them safe.
You know, we talk about dignity and we talk about being embarrassed a little bit, and I think as getting older that maybe my balance isn't as good. Do you find people are a little embarrassed by that? Or what do you mean I might need a cane or a walker? How do you ease people into that it's okay?
Yeah, and I think balance is one thing that we check with all of our patients, especially if they're coming in with an assisted device, whether it's a cane or a walker. That tells me when they walk in the door there's a balance issue going on, that they feel like they need that security device to get them around. So if their goal is to get off of that, then my goal is to, how can we get them there? And balance is something that we all lose as we age. You know, that's something that goes away fairly regularly without training, but with training it comes back so fast.
So you can train that, huh?
Yeah, and I've noticed, because I've had physical therapy in the past, you know, and like you said, it's, you know, I've gone for a couple times and I'm back.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's been situations where it didn't happen after a couple times.
But don't you think that objective point of view really helps folks too? Like I can look in the mirror and realize that I'm walking, my gait's different. Is that what you look at?
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes them looking in a mirror, and we have mirrors that we use. You know, watch yourself walk and see what you're doing here. And they don't see it until they literally see themselves doing that. If I'm telling them that they're not walking correctly or they have a limp, they're like, what do you mean? You know, and they have to watch themselves do it. But it even goes beyond that. Not only if somebody comes in complaining of balance issues, that's one thing, but if they come in for a shoulder problem, balance may not be something that you think to check unless you talk to them and how did they hurt their shoulder? It's because they fell. So that's something that we try to incorporate into all of our patients that have a need for that, is to get their balance back so that they're safe, you know, and safely returning them to those activities. It's
the emerging theme that we've talked about today seems to be being proactive, knowing when to go to physical therapy, when to look at assisted living or independent living, rules of the road, or when to get home health. What are the rules of the road for you three? I mean, what can I do to be proactive?
I would say that physical therapy historically has been more of a reactive profession, and we are moving into the proactive realm of wellness. How can we prevent injury rather than only treating you after an injury? And that starts whenever you're ready. And nobody is out there functioning at the level of 100% optimal strength and balance and function. So we can always have things that we improve on, but it depends on your activity level. It depends on what you like to do. Are you a sedentary individual? Do you like to cycle, and do you like to golf and play tennis? And how can we get you to where you need to be to
so
be safe
my
with that?
takeaway from you is, can I come in for an assessment?
Yes, so we do offer free screens here, and that's a 30-minute consultation with the doctor of physical therapy, free of charge, just to talk with you about what your goals are and where you may be struggling and how we may be able to help.
And then, so Jeff, how about you for being proactive? What do I do?
What I look at with the families especially is when you notice that your loved ones were active and they're not as active as they were prior, come in and take a look at the community and look at the lifestyle, because they have that structure and support around them that's going to keep them active cognitively, physically, socially, spiritually. That's a big key factor.
And with home health and home care, same thing. I mean, you really want to get to the families ahead of time before there's a crisis situation and plan that. But look, I want to thank you all. Our time is about up. I appreciate you being on the show. We thank you all for joining us here on the Senior Network, where senior care experts come together. See you the next time.